All right, and we're back. It's been a minute. Session 2 of Tales by Daggerlight. Where we have our wonderful players sitting around the table. Just go ahead and remind everybody who you're playing, Kai.
My name is Kai, and I'm playing Severian.
I'm Jonn. I'm playing Basagar, who, I will remind, survived episode 1.
Yay!
For now.
Barely.
I am currently at half my hit points.
I'm Jenn, and I'm playing Seraphina.
Kevin, and I'm playing Zeph.
Geoff, and I'm playing P. Nakua, or just Kua for his friends.
I'm Luke, and I'm playing Kieran.
Thanks, y'all. And without further ado, let's get into tonight's episode of Tales by Daggerlight.
This episode of Tales by Daggerlight is powered by our friends at Luck Factory Games, the board game cafe where adventures come alive. Right here in Concord, North Carolina, Luck Factory isn't just a place to grab dice. It's where we first rolled into Daggerheart. We found our party and kicked off the story you're hearing now. The shelves are stacked with games. The tables are set for quests, and the community is ready to welcome you with open arms. And maybe some snacks. Check out luckfactorygames.com and start your own campaign today.
In every city, every kingdom, there's a story that never sees the light. The one that falls through the cracks, bleeds through the floorboards, and smiles when the sun finally goes down. Where heroic promises, broken oaths, bad decisions, and desperate prayers all sit at the same table. 6 heroes emerge out of the edge of the shadows. Kieran.
No matter what, there will be consequences.
Zeph.
That asshole did not.
P. Nakua.
You said we were talking, but you're not saying it.
Seraphina.
Look, I have the voice of an angel, we all know.
Severian.
It's not a murder if he's food.
And Basagar.
We need to get to the castle.
Together, they walk the line between mercy and ruin, rolling bones against hope and fear in a world that wants them obedient, or worse, dead. So lace your boots, check your blades, and hold your breath. Meet us at the blade's edge. Once this story starts, it doesn't let you go. This is Tales by Daggerlight. The morning came to Varelia with the same ugly reminder as always. The city's bells rang 7 times. 7 heirs are still alive, and everyone is listening for the day that it becomes 6. You regrouped at the blade's edge to take stock of what you uncovered, but it didn't stay quiet for long. A guild operative clocked you, tried to slip out, and when you confronted him in the back room, he fought like a cornered rat. Basagar, you took a brutal hit, and the man chose death over answers, jabbing a needle into his own wrist and killing himself before he could be questioned. You searched what he left behind. Guild gear, a rigged bracer with needles, a hidden mask, and enough proof to confirm the worst. The guild is moving against you. Trying to clean up the mess, you attempted to dump the body downriver, and it nearly turned into a public spectacle when scavengers and onlookers swarmed. The city noticed. Whether you meant it or not, attention was getting drawn. With time running out and the guild's web tightening, you made your next move. Head to the Hasp Market, where information, fences, and the guild presence will all overlap, hoping to get ahead of whatever's coming. But as you arrived, the storm hit hard and the ground split open. Vines and root-wrapped horrors erupted into the market, snatching civilians and turning the streets into a panic-choked kill zone. And that's where we pick up. The guild eyes on your backs, monsters in front of you, and innocent people screaming in the rain.
Well, that's not normal.
Not normal indeed.
This might be a chance to ingratiate ourselves with the guild, though. Give ourselves some leverage.
There you go. You see these 3 creatures, these massive. I say massive. They're Basagar-sized. Okay. So they're not like they're big to you guys, but they're just a normal dude for Basagar. 10 feet tall, which it does seem pretty big to a standard human of average size, especially towards our nice fairy Seraphina, are very big.
Very big.
But as they go through, I'm going to jump ahead of you guys. I'm going to spend 2 fear immediately to activate and spotlight these guys as all 3 of these creatures are moving around. You see one of these plant-like, viney creatures kind of turns over, is searching the area since it's ran out of civilians to hunt down and search, spots you guys. It is going to make a perceive check, but it looks like the rain, the flashing of lightning, looks like it looks right past you guys, moves on, kind of goes over to one of the Hasp Market stalls and starts kind of tearing it apart, looking. It is searching for something, but the other 2 see all of you standing there looking in awe at this. Before you can react, its speed takes you off guard. It almost burrows as you see it reach into the ground, and another vine kind of grabs you, Severian, as it kind of pushes itself up. It is going to make an attack roll against you. That is a 15 against your evasion.
That hits.
That hits. So as you are now restrained by these vines. You can break free using a strength or agility roll to get out of this against its difficulty on whenever you want to activate or spotlight on your turn. But that is its action. It now restrains you, and the other creature that activates starts pulling itself. You see it walking closer to you. It walks within close range of, I'll say, Geoff. It walks within close range of you. The third creature, or I'll say adversary. Let's get into Daggerheart lingo here. This third adversary goes up to Geoff, reaches out, and is going to do a piercing vine attack. That is a 12 against your evasion.
Easy. Yes.
Hits. 12 against your evasion. As it goes through, you take 15 points of piercing or physical damage as this vine kind of like stabs into your chest. Are you going to mitigate at all?
Yes. I'm going to use 1 armor to drop that to a minor wound.
Perfect. Yeah, so now you use 1 armor to drop the severity by 1, and you can only use only 1 armor per attack. So you take minor damage. You take some mark 1 hit point as this adversary kind of like grabs you, pierces you, and finishes its movement by bringing itself within melee range to you. That ends their spotlight. What are y'all doing in response?
I would like to immediately, especially the one that gets close to Severian and Geoff, we get a better idea what these things look like now? Absolutely.
Geoff, you get first-hand experience with this creature that looks like it has pierced you. No way. This looks just like Basagar.
Boy.
Anyway.
It's not the same color. It's a different species of fungal, if you will, but okay. This is a fungal person for sure. Its face is more non-present than Basagar's is. Basagar seems to like be more humanoid kind of facial features, where this looks like it, like you, if you weren't looking right, you don't even see a face at all. This is purely nature.
Friends of yours, Bass?
I would like to invoke my nature's tongue ability and try to speak and communicate to these things.
Okay.
If they're fungal, you can use your My Sweet Array.
He doesn't
I'm gonna try.
Oh, I do.
I'm gonna try, and I'm just gonna speak plainly and just in this nature's tongue. What is the meaning of this? Who are you? Where did you come from?
We have come from the curse. We are seeking out the defunct.
Do I know anything about what they're seeking?
No.
I look to you and go, they're not of my kind, not of my family.
Well, I guess we need to chop down some trees then.
So as he says that, Seraphina,
Mushroom
who,
for dinner.
as they kind of rushed forward, she had kind of like flown back a little bit more, and she glances at them. She goes, "Well, boys, this looks like it's time to, as Zeph says, cut down some trees. I know you guys have got this. You guys are strong. You're tough. I believe in you." And you each get a rally dice. So it's a d6 that you can add to any of your action rolls, reaction rolls, or damage rolls, or to clear a number of stress equal to what you roll.
Nice.
So
It's like a one-time roll?
yep, it's
Okay,
a one
got
time.
it.
So, but you got that d6 that you can use.
Feeling so motivated from this speech, I'm going to promptly leave the battlefield as I use my Caprine leap to jump out and away, at least to a nearby stable structure. Not, if there's any sort of like shanties or anything from the Hasp Market, I wouldn't want to trust those. So I want to try and jump to something that's a little bit more stable. But as I jump away, I would like to use Old Faithful, Vicious Entangle, to try and help the party kind of lock down one of these seemingly very fast creatures.
Absolutely.
So I'll make that spell casting roll. I want to keep that, but I'm going to re-roll it because it was cocked.
Gotta respect
Really
the
wanted
cock.
to keep it. Gotta respect the cock.
Yeah.
So that is unfortunately a 12 with fear.
12 with fear does not hit the DC, unfortunately. So close, but I will gain that fear as immediately this adversary, what looks like a... I'm just going to say it. It's a fungal... it's not a adversary like a creature. It's more of a like a tree ant, but it's more mushroomy. So it's kind of more nature-based fungal than what you're used to. I'm trying to spin a name. No, it's not happening.
So it's a fence.
It's a fun ant. Sorry, no, I'm not going to say that.
Hey, I don't know about you. My fun ant did drums.
No, but immediately it is going to activate with that fear. I will spend a fear and mark a stress on this guy. It is going to do an action to do a barrage, and so it as it does a spore barrage on you, it kind of like brings you forward, pulls you in as you watch as spores kind of like release off of it, start sticking to you as it kind of looks in, and like it has like little tendrils, like mycelial tendrils that kind of like go into your body, and then it like you see what looks like eyes, almost like kind of like go angry style. Goes, just you are defunct, and goes to squeeze you against your evasion. That may miss. That is a 7 against your evasion.
It will miss.
It misses. So your tough clank fawn. What are you calling? What's your
onyx?
Onyx.
So hewn from the onyx spire mountain. So
gotcha.
Basically carved out of rock.
Nice. Yeah, your tough exterior just withstands to the pressure of the vines. That ends his spotlight. No damage.
As soon as I see this happen, I'm going to mark a stress to shadow step into its shadow and attack it with my dagger.
Remember, it is, but I don't think I said it before, but it is lightning, it is thunder, there's lightning going everywhere. Lots of shadows for you to choose from around here.
Then I'll go not immediately next to it, but close enough that I can throw my dagger.
So within close range?
Yes, within close range.
Okay.
With advantage because I am cloaked after shadow stepping.
Beautiful. To roll a d6 and add it to your total.
It is a big number. That is a 20 with hope.
Woo, that'll hit. Go ahead and gain that hope. Nicely done.
Because I was cloaked and an ally is next to it, I will roll my sneak attack damage on top of the normal damage.
You sneaky bastard.
Okay. That will be 10 magic damage.
10 magic. That does just increase to his major threshold. So he takes 2 hit points. As you sneak by him, your shadow steps, pull it in. You notice that your blade it is so nice to feel the blade go through just mushroom flesh. It feels great.
For those at home, we all just immediately looked at Jonn.
Someone wants the mushroom to die today.
I mean, have to be you.
It didn't happen last time, so,
True. As soon as the
We're gonna get our
dagger
pound of
lands
mushroom flesh.
and sinks into this creature's flesh, though, it dissipates into shadows and reappears in my hand.
Nice. Beautiful.
Well, with one in his face, Zeph will draw his sword, lighting the area immediately around him as it springs to life and the runes begin to glow, and he will strike out.
You hear a voice in your head, and it's so sweet. It tells you,
"Now is your time, Zeph. Do as you must."
Strike true. That is a dirty 20. With hope.
Yeah, get that hope. Nice. That hits.
Take it.
As opposed to a natural 20 with 2d12.
I mean, yeah. All right. And so that will be 6 points of magic damage.
Nicely done. That is, he takes 1 hit point. That is his minor, that is minor threshold.
So he will just slice down, and there's like a trail of this bright white, almost divine energy that streaks through the sword as it cuts down through.
I like to think that, with the runes that are highlighted on it, it almost looks like you're light painting.
Yes. Yeah.
I would like to try to break out of the restraints.
Yeah, that'd be a finesse agility or strength.
16 with fear.
16 with fear. That is enough to break free, but as you break free, you break through the mushroom-like vines that are surrounding you. As a lightning strikes right next to you, you see rocks kind of come up as you look down. Luckily, all around you, but go ahead and mark a stress as you feel yourself tense up. Being underborn, not quite used to lightning. This is might be a new phenomenon for you.
Yeah, he kind of arches his back like a cat, gets as low to the ground as possible.
So he had with fear.
It was fear. Yeah. So I did my GM move for the lightning, so I'm not going to activate just yet.
Nice.
Are you using fear?
I gained one, so I'm banking that. So I'm banking the fear, so I'm not spending it just yet.
I'm still trying to figure out what side.
Plus is so the plus is what you have, what I've gained. These are not.
Okay.
Yeah,
We're talking about this really cool tracker that Geoff has.
With giant skulls that are staring at us.
This is a very audio-friendly tracker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll try to make a zipping noise every time I... There we go. There we go.
Just do it aggressively enough to make it clap.
Current count is 6 fear.
I think with Basagar is just kind of frozen in a state of shock, not really expecting to see other creatures similar to him attacking people. His first interaction with a fungal in this town was that of almost a calm, serene moment, with shortly hours later come to ones who are more resemble like him, and I think as Severian breaks free from his restraints, kind of almost like that snapping noise kind of snaps Basagar back into the moment, And I'm also going to mark a stress, and I'm going to shift into what looks to be the same appearance, blackish, bark-like skin, but where his hackles are now are the color of his mushroom cap, as he transforms into a rather large wolf. Nice. Larger than normal, as Basigar is also a larger than normal fungal, and is going to attack did you attack, Severian? Did you attack one? No. But I'm going to attack the fungal that Kieran attacked. So that is going to be at advantage. Which is a D6, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That is a 19 with hope.
Ooh, that hits. Go ahead and get that hope.
I'm also going to mark a second stress as I will make this target temporarily vulnerable.
Nice. Okay, so all attacks have advantage.
So that will be a D8. I'm going to add another D8 as this target was just attacked by an ally.
I want you to describe how you make this creature, this adversary, vulnerable.
Yeah. With 8 points of physical damage.
Nice.
I go for the area where I had recently got attacked a few moments before from the other from the guild member, and just go for basically the Achilles area.
Yeah, that fucking hurt.
And it did. It pissed off. It pissed me off a lot. So I think just that same feeling I'm hoping to now invoke in this creature.
Nice.
As I do 8 points of damage.
Yeah. As you extend your feeling to this mushroom creature, this adversary, you feel kind of like he looks down. He doesn't vocalize. He doesn't really have a mouth much, unless he forces himself to. And whenever he does talk, he peels his mouth. It's kind of stringy, the mouth shouldn't be there. But he is he's stepping on lightly on his heels.
As someone particularly suitable for taking the most of their current vulnerability, how close are these creatures to each other?
The two, remember there's still one adversary that's kind of off in the distance. He's kind of searching through the Hasp Marketplace. Adversary 1 and 2 are, I would say, within close range of each other. They're not melee, not very close, but they're within close range between you guys moving about.
Hypothetically, if I were to be exactly between the two of them, would I be within very close of each of them respectively?
Absolutely, yeah.
Then I'm going to once again Shadow Step, and I'm going to spend 4 hope.
Ooh.
First, to activate Rogue's Dodge. I'm spending 3, and as you'll see, these purpley shadows almost become physically present around me, almost like a cloak in of itself, as these blades shoot out from these as I cast my spell, Rain of Blades.
Nice.
Heck yeah.
And I will use my experience. Actually, I'm out of hope. I cannot do
Yeah,
that.
you cannot. Yeah. So you do have to spend a hope to use your experience. But this very, very wise spend of that hope. So I think this is pretty cool. Now, do you have to roll for each, or does the spell attack
check
for all
against all targets?
Okay, so yeah, just roll once and then it counts for all of them.
So that will be 25 with hope.
Yeah, wow. That'll hit.
So I will deal a bit of damage, and the one that is vulnerable will take extra damage.
Yeah, you will.
That will be 11 magic damage against the one that is not vulnerable.
And don't forget, you still have that Raleigh dice if you wanted to beef it up by another 6.
and 15 to the one that is vulnerable.
Oh, jeez. 15 it's severe. So as your rain of blades gonna come out, these magical kind of purple-like shadow blades that emanate from you, explain the mushroom tree, mushroom ant. I'm trying to find it. It's not there. Fun. I just got to go with fun ant, right? I mean, fun ant. It's got to be the fun ant.
It was the first thing you said. We got to stick with it.
Yeah.
I mean, so far they're not very fun. I'm just going to point that
out. But no, the fun ant. Explain the first. How does the dissipate itself?
As this barrage of shadowy blades rain into it, it is chipped apart piece by piece. Much like we're used to seeing Basigar, as whenever he's wounded, like pieces of him fall apart. It is just eviscerated. With these physical shadows just ripping through it.
Beautiful.
Is this the vulnerable one?
Yes.
I spit the heal out. Is it dead?
The heel that you bit.
The heel that I was holding on to, I spit it out.
Yeah. You watch as the bits and pieces of this fun ant that drops onto the ground, you see that it like the roots, like the mycelial roots almost start like growing out of the pieces and like just kind of like forcing it down into the ground.
So there's still one that's up, and then there's another one that's off in the
within
distance.
close range of you, very close to probably Kieran and Basigar and probably Severian. I'll say the three of you are probably just within close range.
Okay.
Was I restrained whenever the reached out and grabbed me?
No, it just kind of like grabbed you, and because you would have been if you would have hit, but
okay,
yeah,
got it.
Okay. So seeing the one go down, Seraphina's like, "Good job, guys!" And you guys are gonna see her pull out one of those long, thin cigarette holders.
In the rain.
That, you know, because it's magic. It has a lit cigarette on the end of it. And she takes it and puts it to her lips and takes a big draw and blows it out while looking at the fun ant.
The fun ant. Yeah,
that's
fun ant.
within close range. And you guys see the smoke come out and just kind of drifts toward it. And I'm sure if I hit.
Sounds cool.
That I completely missed my tray altogether.
There was a dice tray, and then there was table, and the dice went on the table.
Yeah. So that is 15 with fear.
Yeah, there's that fear. You do hit.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll that damage.
All right.
Let the record show that he does not need any more fear.
No, he's maxed.
There you go.
It's 4 points of magical damage.
Nice. Okay. Yeah.
And with that, she kind of flies back just a little bit more.
Okay. That is minor threshold. That fear, you see more lightning start striking the area around you. The lightning blast strikes the steeple of the old church ruins. As you watch, as like you see what looks like maybe wires, maybe metal of some sort that maybe is part of that, but almost light up and like go down into the ground. Not quite sure what that was, but it kind of lights up. But then there's rocks and things that kind of go over. Just innately, you take 3 points of bludgeoning or physical damage. I'm trying real hard to get D&D out of my head. You take 3 points of physical damage just from the rocks itself, blasting with the shrapnel. You feel free to take an armor slot to mitigate that to 0, because I'm hoping 3 is under your minor.
Under, yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah. Well, because I'm flying, so technically I could mark a stress to add a +2 to my evasion, which would bump it to a 13. Would they even hit me? If
this is more of
rocks.
I'll roll for rock for lightning strike.
Roll for rock.
Which is plus No. Sure. Yeah, I'll say you because you're flying it with your. If you want to mark a stress,
Okay.
I'll let that mechanic slide there.
Okay.
That's where the move comes in. So you kind of like dodge out of the way by flying around where these rocks are laying. I will take that fear to activate my boys. This guy that's just been hanging out in the back. He's like, you know what? It's time to step up. He can't find anybody in the marketplace. You watch as his roots. He's going to mark a stress. As his roots kind of go down into the ground, much like you saw what happened with Severian. But his roots, that is his way of travel. So the roots kind of go down, and the roots kind of pop up, and he almost transforms his body, and grows right ahead of where you are, using all of the mycelial roots that is growing in the city for God knows how long to activate and to use as his at his will. Moves in front of you within a very close range, I'll say damn near melee, and is going to do a pummel attack against you.
Against me?
No, first, no, he has to.
I was going to say, little old me?
Little old you.
Just little tiny
little
little
old
me.
you. He will do a grapple. He's going to try to grapple you with a 19 to hit.
Can I am your shield then?
Yeah. Okay. What does that do?
I am your shield.
Mm-hmm.
When an ally within very close range.
Yep.
Would take damage.
Has not taken damage.
Okay.
This is going to restrain you. The vines wrap around you and restrain. Pulls you into its face as you watch the mycelial roots almost grow out of his face and almost tickle you a little bit and almost it's smelling you. You hear this just with your nature's tongue. I don't think anybody else does, but you hear him say, "You are defunct," and is then so that was mark distress. I'm going to spend that fear. Now he's going to try to crush you with advantage because you are grappled or restrained. That was a 14 and a 1. So that 14. You are not flying, so you can't mark that stress to get that 2 to the 14 hit your evasion. Okay, so now you'll be taking damage.
I'll see what the damage is.
Okay. Maybe.
Probably.
Yeah, so that is 11 points of physical damage.
I am your shield.
Okay,
So
because I want you to describe. Give me a narrative description on how you use I am your shield to take this damage.
As Zeph is faced and squared up with this one, he sees out of the corner of his eye this second one come zooping up and get right into Seraphina's face. And as he goes to crush her, he will pivot, slash his sword down, and there's a bright line of light similar to when he slashed down in front of him, but instead of it being in front, it's almost like a sword trail that appears at a distance and knocks him off to where he instead of crushing her, it just kind of puts him off balance for a second and distracts him.
Yeah, so you take that damage instead.
And I will use one of my prayer dice to knock it down to 9 and use an armor slot and take no damage.
Beautiful. Wow. Well done.
Huge.
Yay, spend that mechanic. I will spend another fear to activate my other boy. The other guy that has been in your face the whole time is going to attack Severian. Severian, he's going to use a pummel strike against you. That is a 19.
That hits.
That hits. Pummel strikes. So he forms his little fun ant arms into mushroom blobs, and he almost wraps these fallen bricks and fallen rocks that have come off the building, and kind of like wraps his vines around the stones, and is just going to pummel you with these stones. That is 11 points of physical damage with the first hit. And then it's going to mark a stress to do a second strike. That may not hit. I don't know what your evasion is, but that is a 12 evasion.
That one will miss. That was 13.
The miss? Nice. Yeah, so you get hit with 11 physical if you want to try to mitigate that by using marking an armor slot. Or take it, but the second one kind of swings just over as you kind of like duck out of the way. That ends my spotlight. Back to y'all.
I'm going to try and jump in and help everybody. This time, instead of trying to use a spell, I'm going to use my short bow. So I'm knock an arrow and try and shoot at him. And before I jump away this time, maybe cowardice was the problem. It was not. It was not the problem. But it is a better roll. It is still with fear.
Okay. What's the total?
But it is a total of 18.
18. That does hit.
Okay.
Yeah, 18 hits immediately as you go into to strike, and your strike will take effect, and then there will be something that happens after.
And then remind me, what was the dice that you gave us? We can use that for damage as well.
You can't use
the
that
rally
for damage.
dice.
So I'm going to go ahead and use that rally dice to add on to my damage to at least make this count.
Beautiful.
So that's 10 points of physical damage.
That is major.
And I do want to finish my turn off by trying to use my Caprine Leap again to try and jump away back to that close range to try and get some distance again.
Yeah, that's what you would want to do. But
so I imagine I start that jump and then turn it over.
Yeah, as you start that jump, what happens is you are so surprised that you faint. You freeze.
No, I'm a fainting goat.
Sorry for the table smack. Yes.
You don't actually go unconscious, but this might be the first time you've experienced this, but you are so scared at this moment that your limbs lock up and you can't help but just fall over. And so you become prone. That is my fear, my GM move. Absolutely. But he does
to a fainting goat.
he does take. He does activate this funnet. Kind of like spins around. He is going to use. He's going to mark a stress to do take root. So like his feet almost lock in place. You see his feet root into the ground. So he is going to settle in place and extend his roots. Any physical damage the funnet takes while rooted is reduced by 8. The funnet is restrained while rooted, but may still attack. And it can end its rooted state when it activates. So it holds itself in place and becomes this almost like a mushroom tree, if you will. And that is its action.
So is that second one now within close range? Would you say?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Was that the one that's holding me, or is that the other one?
That's the other one. That's the one that came in that was off in the... That's number 3.
That was the one that grabbed me.
Number 3 is the one that grabbed you. 2 just got him.
And 1 was the one
and
that's
1
dead.
is dead.
1 is dead.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would or you got?
Yeah, real cool.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully. So Zeph's going to use his spirit weapon ability. I marked a stress. Mm-hmm. So he's going to once again slash the one in front of him, but by marking that stress, I can attack a second enemy within close range. And again, that phantom line of the sword slice at the same time hits with both of them. Hopefully.
Beautiful.
At the same time.
Do it.
We'll see. Oh. That would have been a crit, but it was out of the box.
If you mean to roll in the box, roll in the box.
It 100%. So All right, so that's a 16 with hope.
Good. Take that hope, and that hits.
And I'm going to use the rally die on this to make it really count, hopefully. Or not. That is 5 magical damage to each one of them.
Each one of them. Didn't take much for number 2. He was pretty injured already. Narratively describe his death for me, please.
Which one was that?
Number 2 is the one
Number
that
2.
just attacked Nakua.
Was that the one that rooted?
Yes.
Okay, so as it roots
You
down...
said magic damage?
Yes.
Good. Okay. Yep. Good.
As it roots down and thinks that it's, making itself safe, it looks up, and all of a sudden this thin, pale line basically crosses across its torso, and there's just a moment of stillness before that actually ends up being a line that cut all the way through, and you see it slide and just fall down into pieces.
Anime killed him. His top torso just slides off and.
Oh, yeah, I would like to go next. As I hear the one holding Seraphina speak, I look back after spitting out the foot of the other fun ant, and I'm gonna flavor this, and I can take the repercussions from what I'm about to say. But as I'm going to attack this other fun ant, lightning strikes me, and as I'm mid-stride, as I'm leaping towards, Seraphina's aid, I'm gonna mark a stress. As this lightning strikes me, I catch fire. And what happens is the Castle Gorlich seal shoots out of my chest in this fiery appearance and starts to just go across my body in a way that's almost natural. And I go to attack the fun ant that was just previously attacked. So let me roll.
Are you still a wolf at this point,
I am still a wolf, yeah.
No, you're a flaming wolf?
I am a flaming wolf.
Sweet.
So let me roll this. At advantage, right? Yeah. I have advantage.
Yeah.
Okay. That is 15 to hit.
That hits.
Great. So now that is 2d8 worth of damage, and I have another d8 or
No, a
d6.
D6.
A d6 for damage? Sure, we're just gonna
Add all the things.
Okay. That is going to be 15 points of physical damage.
That is the severe threshold as you do all the damage.
And I'm just going to go ahead and keep, there's just too much, to process of what's going on. So I'm going to mark another stress to then make this target vulnerable.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, it kind of looks. You see, it's frantic at this moment. It looks like it almost looks confused, not knowing who to attack next because you are all kind of surrounding it at this moment. So it's going to take a interrupt. I'm going to spend 2 fear to spotlight this guy before y'all just fucking obliterate him. Spend those fear.
And I'm interposing myself between Seraphina and it. So I'm in the middle of it.
Yeah.
He's still holding me, right?
He is, still holding you.
All right.
You see him kind of looking around. It is then going to try to grapple Kieran at this point, and then because just to bring you in. That is So close to a 20. That is 14 against your evasion.
14 will miss.
Specifically
Specifically thanks to my rogue's dodge, which brings it from 13 to 15.
Nice.
Dodgy rogue.
Yeah, so as it goes and reaches out, you see
sneaky bastard.
the fun ant vines or tendrils kind of reach out, and you almost like almost bamf into just like right next to it. It closes its arms, or closes its hands, kind of looks around. Well done. Yeah.
So he's still holding me. So she's going to grab her whip out. So what this does is very close range, which I'm assuming he's holding me.
Yeah,
We're
absolutely.
very close range.
Can't get much closer. Well, he could.
So-
He could be inside you, but that's as close as that's more than.
Evil
It's not this
Dead.
kind of show.
No, like Evil Dead moment.
Yeah.
So I'm going to crack this whip. What it does is, if I mark a stress when I crack the whip, I force all enemies within melee back to close range from very close. So how would that work with him holding me? Can I basically like hit him in the arm and make him drop me and back up? Or
I mean, if he's big, especially because of your size, if he's restraining you, if he moves, you just move with him. But if you want to target his arm to try to force him to let go, I'll say, yeah, the difficulty might be slightly higher, but
okay.
its difficulty is normally 12 to do stuff. 13 with these guys.
Okay.
How can I spend a hope to help her?
So you can spend a hope and roll your
D6.
hope your D6,
okay.
And then you can just add that to the total roll.
Okay.
So you roll your dice for just make sure you spend the
Hey,
hope.
that's how my ooh.
That's a +5.
Ooh.
14, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 14. So then I roll damage then still, right?
Yep.
Yeah, because it does do damage. I'm going to go ahead and use my rally dice
Yeah, you
for the
will.
damage. Just... Hey. That's a 9.
That's a 9.
9 damage.
That is major. Go ahead, narratively describe this creature's death.
Oh! So Serafina like grabs her whip and she's like, unhand me. And she cracks it and like aims right for like kind of his elbow.
Yeah, his hand falls off.
Yeah,
Like-
and just
Yep.
and she like flies back, I guess, and because Bass had just attacked too, so I'm assuming that he's kind of right there.
Yeah, well, you
and so
you used your help action or your help die.
Yeah.
So you guys, how do you do this together?
she basically knocks his arm off with the whip and kind of flies back away, and then I guess
I think I just leap onto the fun ant, pin it down, and just rip it to shreds.
Yeah.
Just
growling, tearing this thing
while on fire.
Sautéing as you bite.
Oh, they're already roasted. Delicious.
Nice. Lightning strikes around you guys. It is still raining. It's still pouring. But the immediate threat dissipates as the last of these fun ants almost dissolve into the ground. You see like it's the mycelial roots are almost pulling itself back into the ground.
Is there anything left behind?
There is nothing. There's probably still some mushroom bits left over that haven't forced their way through, but these weren't wearing any armor. They didn't have any weapons. They're using themselves as the weapon.
Sure.
But yeah, nothing left behind per se. If you wanted to try to grab some of the mushroom before it dissipated.
I do want to, as soon as Baskar stops being on fire, fish Mister out of wherever he's been hiding and just set him on one of the roast pieces of mushroom.
You can't keep me by the bag that long.
Look, food.
It's starting me.
And you know,
I think Baskar forgot he had you.
I am still in my fire wolf form.
Yeah.
I am not dropping out of that anytime soon.
yeah.
But I can speak. I mean,
I'll just like
say I
Yeah.
can.
reach between
Yeah.
the waves of fire then
Yeah.
to try and fish this rat out.
I love that Daggerheart left that. Like you can speak in your animal form, your wild shape. It just adds so much more story and narrative storytelling that you can do.
For
Because
sure.
like in the other game, you were like, I'm just a fucking animal. I can't do anything.
Oh no, I'm a dumb animal.
Yeah, you weren't a dumb animal. You still kept your wisdom stats, but you just couldn't talk. Right? Debatable. Yeah, depends on your wisdom stats. But,
Depends on the player.
Yeah, depends on the player. But I love the fact that Daggerheart, they did that right. Being
Yeah,
able to talk,
absolutely.
which is great.
Damn, Baskar, have you always been able to do that?
You see, he kind of looks around himself. He notices the fire it's kind of like reaching from his paws and goes kind of just lying, just looks fucking badass. And he goes, "This is the animal, yes.
Oh shit, you can talk too.
Yes. This fire is... No, I don't feel hurt. This is different.
I mean, I kind of meant the entire thing, but okay.
Yes, I can change my form into those of beings of of nature.
Fucking sweet, man.
People that spend so much time in nature often can take on these kinds of forms. I've seen it before. It's very interesting. He does it very differently, but it's very useful.
Yeah, that's cool.
I don't know why. And you can kind of see, like, the emblem is still, like, I mean, he's late, like, you know, on all fours, but you can kind of see the glowing emblem of Castle Gorlich on fire.
Wow.
I got struck by lightning. But I don't feel hurt.
I was about to ask.
I feel fine.
Well,
I say we don't ask any questions about that.
seems legit to me. Should we see if we can find who's around?
Hypothetically, could you replicate this in the future? Not saying we're going to be striking with lightning over and over again to see what happens, but...
Are you talking about the beast?
Never mind.
The fire?
He seems to have a very thin line of what's acceptable to do to people.
It clearly didn't do anything, so it's fine.
At this point, he will drop out of his wolf form, but let me just make sure I'm reading this right. For the above the table speak, this is the Warden of the Elements feature. This is my foundation. I'm not a healing druid. I am a elemental druid. Nope. Until I take damage in my next long rest, I am in this form. So, hell yeah.
Nice.
And you see, so Basagar, as he drops out of this wolf form, you see the fire still kind of goes across his body, and the Castle Gorlich logo is visible and on fire on his chest. And you can kind of see flames just kind of spark out from like the little blood pockets of his mushroom cap.
Is anybody around now that things have calmed down?
Like I said, it's still raining. It's still in the midst of this electrical storm. The metal that was going from the steeple down to the ground is almost red hot at this point, just from the amount of lightning strikes that it's taken. Going from the steeple down into the ground, it looks like it goes down even further. But as far as people, not around anywhere close. There might be some people like way off in the distance, kind of like running and scattering or something. But you see like the body of the person that the creature crushed. But all the other civilians that brought it up, they fucking split.
Head further into St. Keverin's Hollow.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but is the weather always this bad?
No.
This doesn't seem like a natural storm, does it?
Seems about as natural as your cousins here that we...
I will do some meditation on that.
I'd be curious to find out what you find out.
Me too.
If nothing else, there should be some cover from this mess if we go in toward the hollow. So that's probably where some folks are, I would assume, taking shelter.
So you said originally this was kind of like an alley, right?
Yeah,
sort
so
of
like
between, and then there was like the tents, like the Hasp Market was sort of set up like along the sides of the alley. Are the tents all just like torn to shreds from these creatures?
There are several of them that are. The market stalls were just tossed, as these creatures were looking for civilians. But yeah, they're just, everything's kind of strewn about through everywhere. There's shredded awnings and just once you get further into the alleyway, looks like that was kind of left untouched.
Okay.
Maybe a little haphazard, as it said, that people were trying to flee and knocked over some stuff, but not nearly as bad as it is up front.
And so the person that they squished, their body's still laying there.
Yes.
So Serafina would like to kind of fly over and take a look. Like, is it like human? Is it male, female?
Indeed, human. As you kind of like look over and roll it over, human, male, looks like.
Like your typical gutter run, like poor clothes, or did it look more like the guy that we just had the run-in with from the guild? Like, does this person look like his skin is peeling? Is he wearing like a similar cloak?
It's a black cloak. It's not the exact same as the gilded member that you dispatched of, but as you as he dispatched himself, I guess. Let's
come on.
Yeah. As you roll him over, you could tell that underneath this cloak he is wearing nicer garments. It looks like he is wearing garments, colors that would be found in the Ashen realm or Ash realm.
So nicer.
Okay. Yeah, obviously, yeah, nicer clothes. But he does have a big old fat ring on his finger.
Is it sparkly?
I mean, it is shiny.
Does it have a gem?
It does not have a gem.
Does it have a sigil?
It has a sigil on it.
So Serafina would, since the body is probably soaking wet from all the rain, that ring should slide right off his finger, super easy peasy.
Yeah.
So yeah, she will slide that off. Looking at like his clothes, like she's gonna stick her fingers in, check his pockets. Didn't the guild guys, didn't they have like an amulet or a symbol or something that they were wearing?
They usually have a mask.
Or a mask.
And there was like a medallion or something on the one that we found.
Nothing like that. She
No
doesn't find
mask,
anything
no
like
medallion. As you rifle through this guy's pockets, you find that he has about 3 handfuls of gold.
I will also gladly take that.
He does have a ceremonial dagger strapped to his his like a belt frog, and what looks to be a ceremonial like a saber on the other hip, all under the robe.
Does he look younger, older, like just kind of rough? Like is it like a 50-year-old man or like a teenager or just kind of like middle-aged or?
He looks young-ish.
Okay.
Yeah, not teenager, but not 50. I'm going to say young because I fall in that line.
Sarah will kind of like motion you guys over and be like, does he look familiar to any of you guys? Like, Kieran, do you know who this is?
Might I see that ring?
Okay, yeah, but if you don't really need it, like in the long run, I'd like it back because it's nice and shiny. Here you go.
Cool will stare intently at this man.
It is the signet ring of the Varel family. This, as you look down at this person, this is Prince Rydian's son.
Can we just stop being near nobles?
I'm sorry to inform you, Seraphina, but I think I do need it.
Well,
unless you would like to go against the Prince Ridian.
oh,
Is that the same? Is the sigil on the ring the same as the glowing?
thing on his chest.
There's slight differences.
Slight differences.
Like every generation has its take.
Okay.
This is slightly different than yours. You can see the resemblances. The foundation of the sigil's the same, but then it has like different filigree and stuff, kind of stuff around it.
Little flourishes.
So it's the son of Prince who?
Prince Ridian, if you would like to explain who Prince Ridian Varel is.
Prince Ridian is the brother of the king, and currently the Pillar of War, one of the Ashen Rings that is that currently helps rule the nation of Aurelia.
And this is his son?
And this is his son.
Was.
Shit.
That is correct.
Why do they keep dying around us?
I would like to...
For the sake of anyone who may be listening, this is the first time someone has died around us as a group.
Oh, no, I meant the tree guys. They just keep dying around us. That happens all the time. Like, bad guys, they just die around us. That's totally what I meant.
Was he an asshole?
I mean...
You knew him very well. He was not an asshole. You can fill in as much as you want, but Wilhelm, so Wilhelm Varel is the son. He met with you frequently. You would take him, kind of show him the ropes down here. You've never seen him down here alone until now.
Before I respond to any questions, I'm going to specifically look around and see if I can make out any of his guard or the guard that should have been here and any sign of them.
Do you need me to look? Because I can fly up a little higher. I get a little vantage point
that
then.
Would be helpful.
Yeah.
Remember, it's still raining.
Yeah.
You can hear the rain.
While she's doing that.
So is that an instinct roll to look for any, like...
You're going to
and
perceive.
I'm specifically looking for, like, royal guard, like, that look like...
I'm not going to make you roll unless you really want to. With it being rainy, there's your vision's already impaired anyways. You look around, there's no sign of any royal guard.
Okay. Yeah. What is he doing down here?
That is something I would like answered myself.
Well, and like this is the Hasp Market, right? So like this is kind of the last place he should be, right?
Depends.
One would think that such an individual of such high position wouldn't ever be found here.
Depends what he was looking
especially,
for.
But
there's a lot that one can find in this market.
Well, like, could he have maybe been going to see what did you said it earlier? I don't remember.
The guild or father.
Or yeah, maybe he was going there. Maybe he was feeling religious today.
there are other chapels throughout Ash Realm and the higher circles that I don't believe would necessitate traveling this far down.
Ko's just flipping through his notes at this point. So we don't eat him.
No.
We should maybe leave his things with him? Is that easier to deal with if he has his things?
Absolutely.
I kneel down beside him, and I'm trying to remember what the fun ants were saying. Find the curse.
Defunct?
Find the defunct?
Do you translate any of that? Because I assume none of us otherwise would have.
Not yet. But as I'm thinking about this, I do kneel down, and I do place my hand on the prince.
Mm-hmm.
It's twofold. What I want to do is I'm going to use my fungal network to try to communicate through the prince and into, like, the roots.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to go through him, but, like, you know, put my hand, part of my hand on his face as I try to just root myself with the rest of my fingertips down into the root. And I would like to use I will spend a hope and use my Warden of the First Blood experience as I try to do this.
Okay. You need to roll.
Yeah, so I'm going to communicate.
Spellcast.
So I'll make an instinct roll.
Instinct roll, that's what.
Yeah, instinct roll with the 12, but I had a +2 from my experience and another +2. Okay. 19 with hope.
Nice. Yeah, get that hope back. What is it that you're asking?
What is this curse? Who are the defunct? How can I help?
And is there a target that you're reaching out to?
Just the mycelial network.
Okay. I didn't know if you wanted to use this spot to you contacting my uncle or.
No, I think I think that knowing what I saw earlier this morning of someone connect, I never even thought to connect here.
Sure.
So I think it's truly just who is here in this city and who can help me.
Okay. Yeah. It takes a moment.
Do I also get any kind of familiarness with this prince?
It becomes a point where maybe you think your connection is not strong enough. Maybe you ask the wrong questions. Maybe this guy is corrupt and maybe he's the one that's causing your miscommunication. But as a moment happens, I'm going to spend a few.
I rolled with hope.
I know you rolled with hope, but I'm going to spend this fear. So I don't gain a fear back or do anything, but I'm going to spend this fear because the two things are going to happen. You are going to get your answers, but also in doing so, in reaching out through the city, through this moment of where all this mycelial came up from that might still be in the ground itself, you get almost flashed images of answers. Now you hear screaming, what sounds like humans screaming, blood-curdling pain constantly. It becomes almost too unbearable for this time being as you guys watch as Basagar has his hand on a prince. I guess he is more of a lord at this point. Yeah, a Lord Wilhelm.
You did change back.
Yeah, Lord Wilhelm is as you watch it, kind of put his hands, and his hands are reaching into the ground around, kind of going around and in between the rocks where you can find any type of soil. His eyes go wide and become the blood red, much similar to your blood spots, but almost like glowing blood, and his sigil glows bright. You feel this heat radiate off of your chest as you're holding it in, but just sheer amount of pain that you get a sense of vengeance. You don't get any words. It is just screaming in your head. You feel like there is an angry spirit behind this. There is somebody or something that wants something dead. But this whole thing that you get out is vengeance.
I think after all of that, my fire burns even brighter to the point where it kind of pushes out, and then my fire disappears, and I'm and so does the glowing sigil, and I practically collapse down to the ground, and I look at all of you and I go, this city is in pain. And I kind of look at Severian, and I'm almost I'm scared that this is. I kind of give you a look, and I don't say anything to you, Severian, and I look back to the rest of you, and I go, they were looking the fun ants. They were looking for the curse. They were looking for the defunct. They called me, and they called you, Seraphina. They called us defunct. I don't know what that means. I didn't get the answers I needed.
What'd they call me?
Did they call defunct?
They did call me defunct.
Yeah.
Also,
They called you defunct, and I don't know. The state of this city is on the verge of death. It's probably beyond that. People are suffering more than what we can see here in the gutter.
Do you think this has to do with the curse in where you're from, your home? Of why that's dying?
I think for the first time since being here, Kua might have like a moment of clarity of like what should happen here, and he might hush you all a little bit of there seems to be ears following us everywhere. Maybe we should be somewhere safer to discuss this.
Okay.
While they're discussing, Kieran is carefully wrapping the body with his cloak and just trying to be as careful as possible, and looks to Seraphina and asks for the ceremonial blades.
Oh yeah, I didn't take those. I don't know. What am I going to do with the dagger?
So that I can keep them together with the body, as well as the signet ring. Don't take off immediately, but fully intend on delivering the body as soon as possible.
I'm sorry for your loss.
Yeah, was he your friend, Kieran? You seem like you definitely knew him.
He was a friend, an associate.
I'm sorry.
We spent parts of our youth training together. Different circles, of course, but our paths converged on multiple occasions.
So who would we need to bring him to?
The brother of the king.
Oh.
Well, if there's ever a time you wanted to go to the castle,
then let's go. He deserves to be with those who care about him.
So are we all going to go and take him there?
We can certainly at least escort those that are able to go in.
I mean,
at least as far as we're allowed to go.
We're kind of the only people that saw what happened to him. Everybody else ran away.
Do we all want to be seen together?
I think in this instance there's no escaping that.
Well, and like Kua said, I feel like there's eyes and ears around here. So regardless, everybody probably saw it, this fight and what happened.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we don't have any proof other than what we say happened, because the things that did this to him kind of just disintegrated.
I feel like Mister's just in the background munching on whatever final pieces of evidence that we could have possibly taken.
You watch as you all look back, and he's like, "What?"
I think it's beyond a point of us not being seen together.
Yeah.
Definitely.
In a short amount of time, I can make contact with individuals that would surely quicken our way to get the body and his effects to where they need to be. This will spread knowledge of us as a group, perhaps more than we would like.
If the guild knows about us as a group, it's already spread.
Yeah.
Kieran, you know that.
I know.
If it would make it easier for you to deliver the prince to his home without us, that is fine. I am in no... and, like, Basgar is still on the ground. Like, he has 4 levels of stress. Like, half his HP is gone. And he looks beaten up. And he looks at all of you, and I follow what you decide. Of course, I want to go to the castle.
Kurt, would this part of the royal family have been friendly to the king in a manner that perhaps I might have heard some stories or information about it? If you get at what I'm asking without sharing that information.
Yeah. Yes, I would say that the king's brother, Ridian, is not known for being hostile. I mean, he is a pillar of the Ashen Rings. So,
yeah, but like a good, quote unquote,
good standing.
He would have been okay.
Yeah, he is known to be a benevolent prince. So
okay. So I think having like learned the name of like who this is, having never known what they looked like, but having heard, you all might see Kua be a little bit more reverent of him, a little bit softer than he's been to anybody else since being here. Not noticeably so, not going out of his way, but just kind of naturally more caring.
Severian, what's going through your mind? What are you doing at this moment?
Severian is glaring at the body bag. He doesn't look very happy. While everyone else is having a great time.
I don't know. That's how that I would describe this. But
well, everyone else seems very reverent, and Severian doesn't share that emotion.
Your stomach growls a little bit.
I think it's best we decide what we do and converse some more. As you say, if there's truly unwanted ears, then we should find some place.
You hear like what sounds like a disbarring of a door, clunking behind the closed door of the chapel. The door opens. Large, heavy, wooden and metal planked door. See a face pop out. Looks like tall, thin, deep violet skin, curling horns that kind of curl around the head. Zeph, you would probably recognize this as Father Ulrich Vane.
Yep.
So is the alley that we're in, the temple was kind of like one side of it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, okay, I got you.
Yeah, you guys didn't go officially into the alleyway yet. You were kind of like in front of it, and like the alleyway's here, and so the door opens to the front of the chapel. Please, come in. Save yourself from the rain.
Father.
Hello, son.
It's been a minute.
It's been too long, Zeph.
We have, I don't know what you saw of what was going on out here, but we have a bit of a situation on our hands.
Kind of looks down. Please, come in. You are safe here.
This is good.
I do.
is the body fully covered at this point? Like face?
Oh, I think we should bring it in with us.
Yeah.
Yes, please. The only stipulation I have is no weapons allowed inside. I do have a check room if you want a check room.
These are the rules, but it's safe here.
If you'll excuse me, then I will go make contact with certain individuals.
Do you want to take the body, or do you want us to safeguard it?
Please take care of it, and excuse the ceremonial weapons. They should not be taken from the body.
He can't use them, Father.
Seth's father, this is a weapon, but I'm using it as a walking stick right now. I'm not in the best of shape at the moment.
You do look worse for wear.
Zeph reaches over and uses Sparing Touch to give Basagar 2 hit points back. Ooh. And that's once per long rest. So
beautiful.
Sets the stick down. Feeling a little better. Thank you.
And if you,
Zeph's father.
If you are friends of Zeph, you are friends with me.
We'll discuss it later. He's not my father.
Don't look related, no.
We're not. Father isn't a priest.
I see.
It's an honorific.
Please, don't put that term on me just yet.
Of course.
And as they're discussing this, Kieran's already stepped into the closest shadow and disappeared without a trace from the rest of the party.
How does he do that?
I don't know.
So Zeph will hand his sword over.
How are you doing? It's been a long time, too. And hands it down.
He is one of the few people in the city who I would trust with that blade, if it makes you feel any better.
Kua just very, very reluctantly, starting with his sword, takes it off and fairly willingly parts with the sword.
Yeah, he takes... Yeah, and you notice that he is like opening up a cabinet and kind of putting some the swords in there according to like some bins, and he's jotting down like a number, giving you a number.
Ring check.
Yeah.
So it's like weapon coat check.
Yeah, it's weapon code check. But the thing that you pick up is there are other weapons in here.
It is an uncomfortably long pause before he separates with his bow. And even so, like, letting go of it,
He's like holding it.
He is pulling it from my hand.
I have to let go, son.
Who Zeph's father is fine.
And he's leaning in, like just following the weapon. And he will eventually let go, and he'll also, similar but less reluctantly, hand over the quiver as well.
You must put your faith in yourself and not in these tools. This tool does nothing for you.
I put myself into this tool.
But
for many years.
Again, that is your proficiency, not this. He puts it down, writes a number, gives you the same number. Kind of like locks them in. Anybody want to hide some weapons?
No, Serafina will hand him her whip and her cigarette holder. And I'm assuming Father probably raises an eyebrow and she goes, "Trust me, just put it in there."
Okay. Right. Hands you a number.
Mark.
Hello. I haven't seen you before.
Severian just splits his jaws and licks his jowls a little bit. Just doesn't say anything else.
Severian.
You know, your pet has got wounds. Should I take care of that?
They seem to close up pretty easily. He's okay.
He's got super pale, deep violet skin. His eyes are almost like a bright
Furnace.
yellow. So he is definitely an infernus. Well, there is no bloodshed here in my temple. If you do come in here, you come in with the understanding that everyone is on equal ground. You know this to be true.
Yes.
I am putting my faith in you as friends of Zeph. And that does not come lightly.
Just so you all are aware, if you were to break this rule, we would basically be out of Gutter Run, and with it, pretty much out of this entire city. Because Gutter Run is the only place for most of us to be able to stay. So please give this the reverence it deserves. As everyone else in here will as well. I promise you that.
You may find refuge in my temple. And is it anything that you seek from me, or do you just find refuge?
It depends. Who all is here, Father?
There are members of the guild that have come in.
Perfect. Then this is actually the perfect place for us to have a bit of a parlay.
Is there someplace kind of quiet off to the side where we could put the dead guy? Hi, Father. I'm Serafina. It's really nice to meet you. It's a lovely temple you have here.
I appreciate that. He takes your hand and kind of pulls you in and kind of kisses your hand respectfully. I am Father Ulrich Vane. You all seem different than those around this city. You glow with light of two auras that I have not seen in quite some time.
It's been a long day.
But yes, there are members of the guild here. I do I think they are expecting you.
That would be a first. They seem to know everything else about us.
Shall I stay present?
If you don't mind, I would feel better.
He kind of pulls in, kind of takes his robes and kind of like puts his hands like in like the robe thing, and just kind of like walks behind you and hear him like chanting some type of like, I don't know, priestly chant, whatever they do.
Some mantra.
Yeah, there's a lot of mantra.
All right, head into the.
And what are we doing with the body?
Is there like a body check room?
Somewhere we could...
Yeah, that's what I was like.
Yeah,
is he like
there
cold
probably
storage?
is. Yeah, there's just
Somewhere
like
that's
some
genuinely
more
safe.
doors. Father Ulrich gets some of his staff to come over and kind of like bring like a gurney out or like a stretcher and kind of like put the body on and like take him into the back room. Yeah, there's they perform funeral rites here, so like it's probably a good cool spot to put it.
Maybe I should stay with the body while you all handle this business. There's nothing for me to offer to this guild.
No, that's up to you.
I'd rather keep an eye on it.
Fair enough.
Come, Severian.
That was my plan anyway.
I think with you two staying, I would feel comfortable leaving him in your care and stick with Seraphina and Zeph.
As you guys walk into the temple, first thing you notice is the smell. Smells like old rock. Smells like incense from the censers that are being kind of like moved around. Deity worship has been a slow going thing or a thing of the past here in Varelia. You're not sure what this temple is even anymore, what he's mantraing about in the back. It could just who knows what it's in some type of fiendish chanting, but the reverence, the tangible feeling of the deity that this used to serve is still very present in this room. You don't know if that's just because it's a hollow and holy place or if there's something current going on, but you can feel almost like an electrical buzz, if you will, like the smell of the incense, the rocks. You can almost you smell like the ozone in the air. The Lumora is thick in this room. As you walk in, well, I'll be damned. Try to find you all throughout the city, and you come in right when we least expect it.
And who is this?
This is a member of the guild. This is not Valen.
Okay.
This is a man you haven't had much interaction with. He is a half-orc. He is the enforcer of that Valen uses. Valen uses. This is Isara Kelt. He's broad-shouldered, short tusks. One of them's kind of like broke. That looks like he's been in a fight or two, or 500. Black leather coat with brass studs. He walks up. Figures we can meet here.
Seemed a good as place as any.
Your name's being thrown around the circles down here in the gutter run.
Yeah, had a couple of your mates over in the Blade's Edge earlier, so they weren't very discreet. You really should get some better help. I was curious, what the fuck are you all thinking?
What are we? He looks back at like his other guys. This guy, what are we thinking? No, actually, who the fuck are your friends?
Well, this is Kua.
Hi, I'm Seraphina. It's lovely to meet you.
He does not reach out his hand.
Any other questions?
Which questions do I ask first? I don't know. It's you've caught me at an awkward spot here. So if we're gonna have a conversation, let's have a conversation. why is your name being thrown around? She goes, why am I getting a hit on you?
You what?
Yeah, I got a hit on you.
From who?
I can't tell you.
Oh, come on. Fine. Yeah.
You know how this game's played.
Rules are rules, sure.
So is this the head guy of the guild you were talking about?
No. He's not the head. He's not smart enough, but he's pretty far up.
So is it worthwhile even talking to him?
I mean, he probably knows a few things.
He's like the neck. I mean, he's thick like one.
There you go. That's appropriate.
He's kind of rude,
You
though.
know I can hear you guys, right?
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
That's
no.
right. You do have ears. Fuck.
Oh. Are those weird things on his head? Those are ears?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Listen, doll, you might be pretty, but come on. You're lucky you're meeting me here.
Maybe you're lucky. And she gives a little wink at him.
But I don't know why somebody would have a hit on me. All right? Is it just me?
It's you and anybody that you're affiliated with. That would include you, Miss Serafina. Anybody that you've been dilly-dallying with. Says you and your accomplices. Your friends.
There has been no dilly-dallying.
Listen, I don't ask questions. I just take the marks.
Nah, if they've got a hit, then they've got a hit.
No, I understand that. I may not be from Varela, but I know how things work.
You know a thing or two. I know.
Cool, like raises his hand. I don't understand. You said we were talking, but you're not saying a lot.
I don't think I need to. Why don't you tell him what it means?
It means somebody wants us dead.
Yeah, somebody paid money, apparently, to ask these
because they couldn't do it
guys
themselves.
To kill us. Yeah, it's kind of cowardly.
But I mean, somebody had a lot of money.
Yeah.
Would it really take a lot of money?
I mean, I would assume it's
I mean,
should feel honored.
I mean, for you guys, maybe not, but for me, it should be a good amount of money. I hope you're charging enough, sir.
Do you want to know what the hit is?
Well, yeah.
You know what happens. We did this last time. You want to clear the hit, you know what it takes.
How much?
2 chests.
That's all? For just him or for the whole group?
For just him. You want to clear your friends' names. It's going to take at least 4.
Jeez. I would think
You're
I would
fucking
be
expensive.
4 alone. Good
Right?
Lord. You're undercharging. I just have to say.
Are you... You're not helping, Sarah.
They're trying to run a business, but they're not doing it very well.
You realize we're talking about a contract on our lives, and you're trying to talk them up?
No, I'm just saying that it's a little insulting.
While they're talking, kind of not trying to be secretive, but kind of talking under them a little bit, Cool kind of turn to him and say, how do you feel about royalty?
Fuck them.
How do you feel about being the one to have killed them?
You saying that you guys killed royalty?
No, you.
I didn't do anything.
Are you sure?
Are you sure?
Can you prove that?
Absolutely, I can.
What if there were eyewitnesses, though?
What are you talking about?
I
don't know. I'm just saying if there were to be a hit on you from some royalty that happened to find a body on your doorstep.
Do you know the eyes and ears that I have in this city? That we have in this city? You're going to go against us?
I'm going to refer you to my previous answer.
Holy shit. What a
Zeph, you might want to inform your friend here about who he's talking
No,
to.
I caught your name. I do know who you are. You don't need to introduce yourself again.
Next time you bring these fucking hooligans in my place, or in Father's place.
Yeah, watch yourself. You know better than that.
So, why are you in here? Why aren't you outside in the... Why? I have a question, though. No, really. Why are you in here in the chapel? I thought the markets was outside.
They are. Did you see those fucking things that came out here?
Yeah, so you ran and hid?
Well, yeah, because they summoned them.
Did
You don't want to be out there watching things do your dirty work.
Better watch your mouth, son.
No, I don't think he had anything to do with that.
It would be horrible.
Are you sure?
If
I don't
that
think
tail
so.
were
I
to
think
get into
he
the
ran
wrong
away.
ears.
Are you sure they weren't his?
Make a give me what would be intimidation presence. Give me a presence roll, please.
I would like to spend a hope I'm not using the right fucking thing.
This is
Spending a hope
very
for the
awesome.
for Zeph's fast talker experience.
Nice. Okay.
To add in.
Yep.
19 with fear.
Ooh, 19 with fear. I would say that is a success with fear for sure. I'll take that fear.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna bank the fears for now. But he looks at you. It would be bad, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm. And you have the eyes and ears to know those who I've been associating with includes one who does have the ear of a lot of those in the upper levels of this city.
Who are we talking about?
If I have to tell you, seriously?
Oh, see, he thought he knew stuff, but apparently he doesn't know stuff.
This is why they're not getting paid very well.
Apparently.
He's like
This is great.
trying to put it together.
It's weird because, like, where I'm from, stuff like this is run much better.
No, but seriously, who the fuck are you talking about? You talking about the shadowy fuck?
I guess you don't need to know.
Who the fuck is he?
Who the fuck is it? You don't know?
Wow.
You don't know who that is?
Those ears really don't
Holy
work very good.
shit, you don't know what you're wrapped up in, do you, pal? Holy fuck.
And then you summoned those things.
You better tell your boy to shut up.
I mean,
I think he's threatening me again. Is he threatening me
I think
again?
he is. Holy
I don't
ground,
think you're supposed to do
Highlander.
that.
I'm not threatening. I'm just saying you better tell your boy to stop talking. Once we're out of this building, you're not protected by Father's little magic here.
I'm just saying, just be sure you're not getting in over your head. Like, we could work out,
You don't have
a
very
deal.
deep to go before that happens.
We could make sure we could make sure that this situation that happened outside is...
That we cleaned up, by the way.
Yeah. We can make sure that gets buried. Never sees the light of day, and I think that's better all around. And yes, we did defeat all three of those fucking things that y'all brought into being. I still don't know how you did that trick, but, you know.
Yeah, that was kind of interesting.
We'll figure it out.
I'm just as curious as you are on this, and like, all joking and threats aside.
All right, fine. But we did save the market from a hell of a lot more devastation. That should be worth something.
I will tell boss that.
All right. That was the main thing we wanted to let y'all know and figure out what the fuck is going on.
Listen, we just take the hits as we get them.
I know, but...
So, was this hit... Did this person, are they here in the city? Like, is it somebody in the gutter that's wanting
You know I
Zeffy's
can't
head?
tell her that. Like,
Rhymes with? Come on, give me something to work with.
Are they local? Just that. Are they local?
of course they're local. Everybody here is local.
Okay.
I mean...
I'm not local, sweetie.
You've been around. I've seen your shows.
They're not bad.
Look, I have the voice of an angel. We all know it.
So what are we going to do now?
I'm thinking.
I got a hit on you.
I know you've got a hit on me.
You don't have the 2 chests to pay to clear it.
Not right now.
You want me to spot you?
What the fuck? Fuck. How much is it going to cost me?
You know I don't work
Now,
like that.
I have a question. Is this still a thing that you do here? What's information worth to you?
Information is not worth any type of coin to me. Favor per chest. That's what it takes. You know this.
I have a question. So, in your guild, if somebody were to come and be like, hey, I have 2 chests of gold, I would like to pay to have a person taken care of, right? But this person happened to be a guild member. So how does the guild handle that?
We don't kill within our own.
So I have another question.
She haven't stopped talking.
She does sleep sometimes.
You've seen her. I'm not there. I'm not there.
I think at this point, Cool kind of extract himself from the conversation a little bit because he's clearly not getting through to this guy. He's not the one that's going to pick up on what he's trying to mind game with. So he's going to, I assume there's rafters or something.
Yeah.
He's just going to, mid-conversation, leap up into the rafters. Just.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, you can see you got a good bird's eye view of the temple here. There's about 5 or 6 other lower ranking guild members here, but Severian and Basagar, what are you doing back there? Are you just guarding the body, or?
Oh, I want to talk to Basagar in private.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we're in the room with the body.
Yes.
And I think there's, if there were attendants, we would just dismiss them and be like, we'll take care of this. And yeah, close the door, and I sit down and I'm exhausted.
Will you tell me what the fuck you saw?
Well, that's the problem. I didn't see anything. I heard screams. I heard, and kind of recount what the audible visions were. And I thought of your home. I would imagine we've probably discussed. Yeah.
Definitely.
So I think he looks and goes, I fear that this city is headed towards the state of your home, and I have a fear that my home is down the same path. Something is happening. There's a reason why he, and motions to the prince, there's a reason why he was murdered.
They looked a lot like you.
They weren't. And he just kind of stops and is. I think you can kind of just tell just by looking at him that he probably fears that this is what he could become.
There's an issue with the blood.
I understand. There's a chance to heal it.
Not while they're alive.
Well, we can't. We're not. We need to get to the castle.
We'll get there.
Figure out what's happening.
We'll get there.
The answers we seek are there. I thought I could find it. Apparently, there's a network here. There's a connection to this city, but I can't figure out how to communicate with it. I like I said, I fear this city's too far gone.
I fear the same, and I hope that when we get up to the castle and find more information, you won't be too shocked to act on what we find.
Look, the first blood gave me life. The first blood gave you life.
It gave me this.
But yes, something caused, and I think that how it affected you is what's affecting my home, is what is affecting this city. And it's unfortunate that your home was hit first. That's why I'm here. That's why I left. I want to help cure it. Because if it wasn't for the first blood, none of us would even be here.
But what's your plan?
Every disease can be cured. And if it means... I don't know. I don't know what it means. I don't have all the answers.
The best solution I've found to cure a disease is to kill all who are infected.
So then why don't you end your life?
Because I'm not the root. The root is them. And he points at the body.
I kind of unfurl the flaps of the cloth that's covering the prince. I'm not communicating. There is no mycelial network to connect to this body, so I would like to just try to do some kind of instinct roll, and I will spend a hope and use my Warden of the First Blood to just see if there's any kind of similarities.
Yeah. You go ahead and give me that instinct roll.
That is a 9 with fear.
9 with fear.
He was already moving that before John said anything.
As soon as you put your hand down, you focus, trying to feel something. Severian, you notice that Basagar goes, quiet. Still, almost imperceivably still. Body sits up. They're after the first blood. They're all gonna die. Looks at you. And that's where we'll end episode number 2.
What the fuck just happened and no one else knows? No one else.
Yeah.
And Separate sitting there going, yeah, see, I should have beaten them.
No fucking way. Oh, boy.
All right, we'll end there. Thanks for listening to Tales by Daggerlight. Make sure to tune in next time because the fate of our adventures is TBD. Bye, y'all.
Bye.